Here and we're back. Thank you everybody for tuning in for another episode of We Think It's a Sports Show. As always, I'm your host Mike D, and we got a great show for you. For without further ado, let's check in with the guys. First up, we got my big cuz who get 'em Mills get 'em. Next, we got my A1 since day two, Rad, and last but not least, my point guard Preach. So here on We Think It's a Sports Show, we believe in holistic health. So Mills, bro, what you been doing for your physical? I know you and the wife bought two bikes. Y'all been using them?
Yeah, man. We actually went on I think it was about 15-mile ride the other day.
Mills,
Bro,
dog, your rides get longer and longer. I want to believe you, bro, but every single time, y'all going
man,
up like that?
Was it 15 or felt like 15?
it was 15 round trip, man. We stepping our game up a little bit. It was originally only supposed to be about 6 miles to the water, just to go see, scenery and everything like that. But we had a couple ride-alongs with us that kind of persuaded, my wife to go a little further. She really didn't know how far we were going, but when we got too deep, you can't turn around. So we were doing 15 miles, good exercise.
Feel good?
Man, felt real good, man. Except for the hills. Hills is definitely a struggle, but it's getting me where I need to get and taking me where I need to go, literally. So I'm good.
All right, let it hear it. Let it hear it. All right, Rat. So last week on the show, you talked about how you had a lot going on, and a lot of people hit me up, just wanting to reach out to you and say that they're there with you. But you still got this smile, you still got this energy. Like we talked, you still you had me dying laughing on the phone. Like, so how are you dealing with everything? Like, how is your emotionally? How you staying so strong?
Well, for me, it's more so faith based. You know what I mean? My faith and just understanding everything happens for a reason. Everything, all I can do is what I can do is be strong in whatever storm I'm in and be 10 toes down regardless. So, I'm just keeping the faith. I got a great support system. Pretty much that's what it is. I got a great support system and they holding me up. And all I can do is be strong and keep pushing.
Yes, sir. Well, you got your three brothers right here. Always got your back.
For sure.
So, but Brad, I'm glad you mentioned faith, and it's a joke on the show that we call Sam Preach. Half of it is because he hated it, but the other half is it's really a dope name. So, but Brad mentioned faith, and you are a preacher. So spiritually, how are you, and just even your church doing during this time with the pandemic and the protests? How is the church holding up?
We're in good spirits. Yeah, we're in good spirits. This past Sunday we had not necessarily a gathering, but sort of a celebration, and a few people came for a drive-by celebration, and we had a really good attendance on it, and it was nice to see all the faces. So that was good. I think that's the biggest thing for us is just the fellowship that we missed. But as far as our spirits and everything, as far as going to the church, we haven't missed a beat. We're still putting the word out, via our online platforms and all of those things. So, I can't complain. Every day has been a good day for me. A good day meaning I woke up that day. Not to say that everything was good in it, but as long as I have my health and strength, I can, I'm all right for the most part. So I'm just glad to be here, glad to be on with you guys, and have this fellowship with you all.
Say, if you wake up and you know where you at, it's a good day. It's a good start. So financially, we are still working. So I'm going to take the social part of it. And I'm not going to lie, y'all. I'm struggling. Like, I haven't really seen anybody. I miss y'all. I miss my family. I want to hug my mom. I want to get back to the low and to see everybody, even my people here in Michigan. I haven't hung out with any of my friends. And this podcast keeping me going because I get to see y'all, talk to y'all, talk sports and laugh. So I just want to say I appreciate y'all and everybody that listen for keeping us going.
Dope.
So, all right. So before we get into the topics, I want to start here because I have been recently introduced to the Wendy's breakfast.
Oh God, I got a lot to say.
Me, Angie went there. I seen Quet, Mia's menu, talking about it. So I was like, man, let me go grab me a Baconator, some potato wedges. Bruh, hands down, the best breakfast, fast foods breakfast there is.
What?
Ignore what Sam's saying. That Baconator, bruh, that joint changed the game. So,
Wow, word.
Dan,
That's big talk, Mike.
I'm going to let you respond to my Wendy's. But my question is, what is the best fast food sandwich? And I'm going to give y'all mine. Since Sam already up in arms with my Wendy's sandwich. To me, the best, I got to say the McDouble. Not that it tastes the best, but the fact that it's $1 double cheeseburger, bro, that was the staple.
It's only one piece of cheese, bro. That's why it's not a double cheeseburger.
Well, at first it was a double cheeseburger, but then as you would know, the McDouble, $1, bro, you could not beat that. You couldn't beat it for the value. So I'm going with the McDouble. It's simple, so that's my pick. So Sam, you go ahead, Sam.
This is twofold. Listen, it was about maybe a month ago. Sunday morning, I was coming to church. I said, let me go get this Wendy's breakfast sandwich. I just want to tell all the people, it is literally the worst. It is so bad. I took a bite of it. No, seriously. I got.
What you get? The Baconator?
Yes. I took a bite of it. I had to throw it in the garbage. I don't like the egg was disgusting. It almost, to be honest, it felt as if it wasn't real. Like I don't know.
Probably wasn't, bro.
The sausage was terrible. And I want to tell this to anybody out there who does fast food or who cooks. Stick to what you know. Every time, sometimes you're trying to venture out in a new market that doesn't work. So stick to what you know. And this is just to Wendy's, to all the Wendy's out there. To start opening it back up at 11 o'clock or 10 o'clock. The breakfast thing is, we got to stop doing that. But
all I heard was praise from you. The first person to say it was bad.
The potato wedges. How about
that? I didn't have those, but I did have the sandwich. It was the worst sandwich of all time. But as far as the best fast food sandwich, I'll choose like Mike. I am going with a McDonald's sandwich. And it is $1. Unfortunately, it's out of commission, but it's the hot and spicy. It was literally probably the best sandwich I've ever had, and I mean that seriously. And I like Wendy's hot and spicy sandwich. I like a Chick-fil-A hot and spicy sandwich, and I like Jack in the Box hot and spicy sandwich. But I'm telling you, the hot and spicy from McDonald's. They say it's in Arizona. Mm-hmm. So all those people out there. It's in Vegas. They say it's in Vegas, and we were supposed to take a trip to Vegas. I don't know what's going on with COVID, but I will say I will get back to you one day.
How about you, Rad?
For me, it's Chick-fil-A. Chick-fil-A chicken sandwich all day, every day. I think that's the best with the pickle, with the Chick-fil-A sauce, and I dip it in barbecue sauce too.
Those wedges, the seasoned wedges
with the waffle fries.
The waffle fries,
with the lemonade. I think Chick-fil-A got the best sandwich. I gotta go Chick-fil-A.
But the value though,
yeah, all of it is cheap. All of it is inexpensive. It's fast food.
Value, yeah. It's the value menu.
I wouldn't say inexpensive, but
I respect that. I mean, some people say the Popeye chicken sandwich is better. I haven't had it yet, but some people
it's pretty good. Popeye's chicken sandwich is good. It is good.
Right. Texture is different too.
It is good.
Yeah. Sorry.
How about you, Millie? Since you are an ex McDonald's manager, are you gonna have some love for the whole hometown team?
I forgot that.
To be honest with you, McDonald's hot spicy was a great sandwich. I'll never eat McDonald's again. I haven't had McDonald's in a couple of years. Try to stay away from there. Because I mean,
when employees don't want to eat it.
Well, when I was in the Air Force Reserve, so when I was in the military and stuff like that, we couldn't really, eat that stuff. And I was down south, so it was like that's a different flavor. I got introduced to a restaurant called Whataburger, and man, cheeseburger there is a good size, nice and juicy. It's not expensive. It's great. And they probably got the best milkshakes too. So when you get a milkshake burger combination, you can't go wrong. So if you're down there in like the Texas area, Whataburger.
Sam, well, what you thinking? Five Guys?
I'm definitely not thinking that.
Okay.
That's not inexpensive. I'll tell you that.
Yeah, but it's not even in my top. Whatever.
Okay.
Listen, I forgot. This is a close second, but White Castle.
Ooh, mini joints.
The mini burgers. I'm so sorry, everybody. White Castle mini burger. Now let me say this. To all. If you do go out and try it, please be near a bathroom, because things may not work out for you. I'll just be honest. But I can recall. I'm gonna say this. I can recall. I was at a conference with actually it was 5 of us, my cousins, and they're a little bit on the bigger side. We ordered 40 White Castle burgers. We ate all them drinks. And mind you, we had about 40 pieces of church's chicken and the biscuits, but I ain't gonna talk about that. It got crazy.
Bro, White Castle put a whole onion on all their burgers, bro. It's
on the minis?
Bro, yeah.
They do the chopped up. They put the chopped up little minis.
I know what I'm saying, but it's a whole onion chopped up. Bro.
Fire.
Bro.
I like it. I like White Castle joints. Some joints good.
Fire.
We can't forget the Daniels family special bridge dogs, bro.
The bridge dogs.
The bridge burgers.
Yeah, you didn't come to the Bills game that week. Sam, was you there? I think Sam was there with the bridge dogs.
I didn't have any of those things.
Yeah, we all went to the Bills game, tailgated.
I remember that.
Yeah.
I was there, but I couldn't tailgate. I had responsibilities actually.
Oh yeah. You came late. Yeah, you're right. All right. So great first topic, even though it wasn't the first topic, but let's move on. We're gonna start the show where we started last week, and that was with NASCAR. So conflicting stories now, but NASCAR driver Bubba Wallace, they said a noose was found in his garage. So NASCAR had a great, showing of support. He drove down the track and they walked with him and surrounded him and just gave him love, which was another great showing by NASCAR. So big ups to them. But now FBI investigated and they're saying that the noose was there since 2019. So with all of that, Rad, what do you think of the situation of the noose to begin with, the NASCAR stepping up and showing up, and then the FBI investigation?
The first thing when I heard about the story about the noose, it was like, wow, shocker, But and it also was like, this would people who's pushed or who's I'm not gonna say push who normalcy or whose way of life has changed a little bit, because with the stripping down of the Confederate flag, I thought it was a response to that, and it would have been, and I would have not understood it, but I would have been like, oh yeah, people they lash out and they do things like that. But when I heard the news today about FBI, I was like, wow, who? The FBI was in this? Like, how did they get the FBI to do this? That was like, who friends with the FBI? They got a cousin. They got whatever. That was whole nother story. I was like, what? The local cops couldn't figure that out, but whatever.
The NASCAR couldn't figure that out.
They had to get the FBI on the scene, So, overall, what happened? The support they showed Bubba Wallace was cool. But for me, it's how long and what are the steps they're going to do to continually change it if they want to change it, right? The symbolic showings of unity, of taking the Confederate flag down is cool and dandy and all, but 5 months from now, what are the steps they're going to be taking if they truly want to be inclusive? What are they going to be doing to try to get I'm not going to say to get more black people to watch the race, but just to break down all the walls that's preventing black people from watching it. You know what I'm saying? I don't know what they can do just to straight up just get black people to watch it, because if you're not interested, you're not interested. But the putting the Confederate flag down and just being more not seeming like a outright type of place to be, just is going to open up the doors to have black people walk through. So I want to see what they do with the steps they have, 4 or 5 months from now, and what's the, not just these symbolic things, but real change, real things that's making sure that it's a safe place for people to be, and it's not just seem like an alt-right or really a Confederacy type of place to be. You know what I mean? So I'm more so looking at it in longevity wise, not just right now.
All right, Mills left, so go ahead, Sam. What you want to respond to anything Rad said, or just you respond to just the question?
No, I don't really have anything to respond to Rad. just like, but to piggyback, the whole FBI thing, yeah, it did come out of left field today. So I really don't know, like Brad said, how they got involved or who asked them. But even if it was up since the fall, that doesn't make it right. And we were talking in our group chat, and I kind of asked the question, like, should we just leave NASCAR alone, like we leave the KKK alone, or we leave the NHL alone? Like, we really don't, like, we just don't bother them because they're in their own world and they do what they do.
It is interesting. I'm sorry for cut you off, but what I want to say something about before I lose it is, like, a lot of times where like the Black Lives Matter movement or social injustice was people that was, using the black dollar, but, taking advantage of it. I mean, to say NASCAR is probably a place that's not doing that. And it's, so maybe, so that's what I'm trying to add to your point. That's what I'm saying. They're not really taking advantage of it or trying to appeal to it either.
Absolutely. They don't appeal to our audience, nor our money for that matter. But I am reminded, even when I was thinking about it, what Martin Luther King said, he said, an injustice anywhere is a threat to justice everywhere. So, I mean, with that being said, you just can't have it. You can't allow it. And it just shouldn't be allowed. And hopefully NASCAR does take the necessary steps to kind of rid themselves of these underlining things. It's going to be tough because our country is riddled with it. So, I mean, it's kind of hard to, look at NASCAR to kind of police everything when our country can't even police everything. So,
you're right.
But our country is made up of NASCARs. You know what I'm saying? If that makes sense. Like, our country is made up of little factions and systems where all that is being allowed. So now, if you look at it from, you know what I mean? So I think you got to fix one system, one thing at a time, and then the country will look totally different.
Mm-hmm.
Absolutely.
All right, go ahead, Mills.
I think NASCAR did a great job with their response time to the situation. I also felt the same way as everybody else said. The FBI, that's a big step. That's not even local PD. That's the head honchos. You know what I'm saying? But one thing that got my attention was they said it from previously. It'd been there all this time. But my thing is, how come it wasn't noticed before? And also, even with noticing it before, how come it wasn't, the unique thing is they said it was already there for the previous driver that had that same garage, right? But the unique thing is, how come it's not in the other garages, which we don't know, but also it ended up being on the only African-American's garage. So he just so happily, became that person to take over the garage of the area where the item was found. And, that was very, very unique. But I thought NASCAR handled it well. They took the appropriate steps to come to, a resolution and come to, well, they investigated everything properly and came down to their results, at a good timing. It didn't take a while. It didn't take long. They already, stated what they were going to do when they found the person that was responsible. So it lets us know that, they're not just there to be the headliner and not just there to be those people that sit in, in their luxury chairs and luxury desks, enjoying, their coffee and eating their food, but they actually care about the people. And I do, commend them for that. And I hope everybody else takes notes, just in case you have a similar situation that comes up, with your employees or, anybody that's a part of your team.
I got one last point, Mike, because it's interesting because to piggyback on the point I made earlier about they're not catering to the black dollar or anything like that, is that these changes is going to have an effect, right? Now, the audience they're catering to are not primarily black at all. Now, the question is NASCAR as a company and as a, or the separate owners going to enforce certain rules, enforce certain behaviors that's going to adjust or shake the normalcy of people's life or the way of people's life that that go to race car game to go watch NASCAR, and is it worth doing that to to set right your ways and your the little underlying racism that is in NASCAR, to potentially have black people not even come at all? You assuming you're going to open up another cash or another dollar spent at your races, but it is a risk because the people that come to who support NASCAR wholeheartedly didn't see anything wrong with the Confederate flag, embrace the Confederate flag, and embrace the way that they're going about it. Now you're saying NASCAR change your ways at the risk of losing or being boycotted from the people that support you the most. So I think there are in a bottom line compared to social injustice struggle, but which way they're gonna lean is we're gonna see in the coming months.
Yeah, I agree. Like I said, I gave NASCAR credit last week for just doing it. Like I said, they weren't doing it to save face for black people. But like they just said, no, enough is enough. But with this situation, and I was always worried of this, and that's why I really didn't speak on it on too many social medias, because the first thing I thought about was Dave Chappelle and Juicy Smoulier. So I'm like, this reek of Juicy Smoulier, 100%. And now
does he look like him? Because Bubba Wallace look like him,
bro. Whatever it may be, whether he look like him, the situation, it just seemed like a lot, like a noose, and like you said, it kind of made sense from the standpoint of the whole Confederate flag happened, the Black Lives Matter car, and then you see the defund NASCAR with a big Confederate flag, and then the noose is found. So, like, it kind of makes sense, but it always felt very Juicy Smoulier to me. And now the FBI is saying that the noose been there since, or the rope. They called it a rope. The rope been there since 2019. It was just, yeah. So, I don't know. Hopefully, Bubba Wallace didn't have anything to do with this. Hopefully, it was his team, if it was staged, and he is far away from it, because he is being propped up right now. And black people are showing him love. So I feel like if he wins the race, Talladega, then maybe black people will start watching it. And Rad, I like that you said that, because once again, NASCAR is going all out. Should we reward them with our viewership? I'm gonna go back to you, Raz.
I don't like that word, that that term, that words, that the way you people talk about it, things like that, because if it doesn't appeal to you, it doesn't appeal. Like I've sat down, I've watched NASCAR. You know what I mean? I know Earnhardt, I know Jimmy Johnson, I know the Kurt and Kyle Busch, Brad Keselowski. I know, I've seen it. I've watched end of races. I know somewhat about NASCAR, and I never still haven't cared. You know what I mean? And from my vantage point, from being from, I'm from Buffalo, I'm from upstate, so I'm not really in that southern country, so I wasn't thinking about the racist tone of NASCAR when I was watching. So none of that came to my mind. You know what I mean? It was in the back of my mind, I guess, because it was all white people. Usually we see all white people, you know what I mean? But I really wasn't thinking of it's racist and black people are not allowed there. You know what I mean? So, and it just was not something I wanted to watch. You know what I mean? The last couple laps was exciting, but besides that, now I never watched golf until Tiger played. I never watched tennis since Serena got good. So if it was a dominant black NASCAR driver, would I change? Potentially, I don't know. But as of now, nothing put me to watch it. Now, I don't think we should reward people for doing. The issue is was right, and the reward for what? For because the issue is that our standard for black people in America is so low compared to the white standard. And the white standard is just normal. It's just human decency. You feel me? Like, so to bring up the how you treat black people up to human decency and to being normal should be rewarded. I don't think that's so. I think that should be, all right, good job. You should be doing that. Keep it going, and tell your white neighbors and all your white owners, your billionaire friends and stuff, to do it too. You know what I mean? So I don't know. The reward system is always going to be jank for me for social injustices, because it should be the norm. So I'm not a fan of that.
I respect that. What you think, Sam?
It doesn't really make me a never mind. Like I'm never gonna watch NASCAR, so and I don't think it's gonna like take over an African American circle. So I mean, it's just a mute point in my opinion.
If Bubba Wallace stopped winning, you never know.
I don't care who wins, to be honest.
I get what you're saying, but like I never cared about swimming until Michael Phelps was about to start breaking all the records either. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
if you have something to watch it.
Yeah, but you don't watch. Do you still watch it?
What swim?
I mean, the Olympic swimming. Do you still watch? Okay, so I mean, that's what I'm saying. So I mean,
I know.
Like that, yeah, if something like that happens, I guess I'll put my eye to it. But other than that, I mean, I'm not watching that nonsense.
I'm a sports guy, so I know a lot about sports. I know about NASCAR, but
I mean, I'm not driven to it.
I'm not driven.
I'm not saying I don't know about NASCAR, but it is what it is.
I mean, you know enough that it's not for you. What you think?
I know enough that I would never watch it. You're right.
Before we get out of this topic,
I mean, I kind of agree with Sam, man. I mean, I'm not speaking for all African Americans, but I think a lot of African Americans they like to watch sports and be interested in sports in those areas that they have a difficult time in being successful in. It's a lot of people aren't great in basketball. A lot of people aren't great in football. A lot of people aren't great in golf, tennis. But I know 1,000 African Americans that can get in a car, hit 90 to 120 on the E-way, bro. I'm just letting it be. I'm just being honest.
Oh my God. Mike, come on, man.
Bro, one of these boys, they going 200, bro. They're not going 90.
Oh my goodness.
200, but that's something that we're not afraid to do.
That's
bro. I'm not gonna lie. I am afraid to go 200 miles per hour in the vehicle.
But I do hoop though, so I kind of I don't.
Yeah, I don't know what Mills. I never described basketball as difficult. So
absolutely not.
It's a lot of people that can't play the game, man. It's a lot of people that can't play the game.
I don't want to put myself in that category.
Yeah, you are not speaking for our African Americans right there.
No, you're not.
We 75% of the NBA, bro. We can hoop.
So if we find it difficult,
I'm talking about the outside.
Really
the outside.
All right. Yeah. So let's switch from a good video to a terrible one, and that was the Dallas Goddard joint. So hopefully your boys seen that. I ain't gonna lie, man. I was worried about because he got slept, bro. Like he got slept. Like so, he got sucker punched at a bar in South Dakota, and it was bad. So Mills, let me come to you. What did you think about the video when you seen it, and just like the whole situation?
The first thing I asked myself is, where did the video come from? Is this surveillance, or was it something that was already pre-planned?
I think it's surveillance.
And then the point you the point you made about him being knocked out, I saw something that said that he was there with his family and friends, having a good time, and there's people around that was being disrespectful and everything, and he was just trying to tell him to chill. When the dude came up and just cleared him with the 1-2. Well, it wasn't even the 1-2 with the 1. But
the one-hitter quitter.
But it also said that he went to the hospital. It also said that he went to the hospital, you know what I mean? And he got treated and he was released. So the question is, did he really get knocked out, or was he?
He got knocked
out. Listen.
No.
Listen.
If a tree in the middle of the forest fall, nobody there, did it fall? Yeah,
they said it happened.
Bro, he wasn't a head-on collision, so you could go to the hospital.
Check this.
Get stitched up. Good.
They said it happened around 1:30 in the morning, right? Now, I'm not being racist by any means, but
that's generally when people get knocked out. Yes.
That is about the time where you get knocked out.
Hold on, let him finish this. I'm not being racist statement real quick. Let him finish this.
Yeah, go ahead.
That is the time that the black people first get to the club or to the bar. Open at 2:30.
South Dakota, bro.
You get there about 1:30.
Yes.
And then, but check this though. White people normally they get there early. They get there when the doors open. So my man could have had about 40 drinks by then. He wasn't knocked out. He was just under the influence. He got hit, and he was sauced, and he just fell.
That's an interesting take.
So it couldn't have been. It may not have been as worse. It may not have been as bad as the video made it seem. That's my only point.
Okay, he got slept. Let's just be honest. Now, I
slept.
will say this: Dallas Goedert is an NFL tight end. He is
6'7".
athletic.
And he's
Yeah.
6'7".
So granted, I'm not saying he's not tipsy. And let me say this: they were in South Dakota, like Mike said. So I don't even know if there's black people in South Dakota. I don't know.
South Dakota.
Okay, and that's fine. But what I'm saying is, he may have been under the influence. He may have not been. But regardless, dude sleeping. I don't think this is anything special. Now, I will say this. Dallas Goedert was a sleeper of mine in our fantasy football league.
For real.
And so
Real sleeper.
hopefully, like Mill said, they say he okay. So hopefully this makes him play better. I mean, no, listen, no pun intended.
No pun intended.
But cuz sleeping, though. That's for sure.
No, I want to respond to what Mills said real quick. Mills, like you said, he's from South Dakota. Like that means something. Like you are probably 100% more likely to get challenged or get checked in your hometown.
Sure.
People know you. People know how you grew up. Like people, and they just want to do it. But yeah, man, I checked Cuz the other day. He ain't do nothing. All that NFL. Yeah, bro, you know how people in the town is.
That's a fact. That's a whole
So if I'm from South Dakota. Probably had a grudge with him. Yeah, people had a grudge with him.
But the dude is from Florida, though.
The reality is they were all drunk. He was talking stuff. They said Dallas got to try to diffuse the situation, and he got slipped. Simple. It happens all the time. It's every day. The real question is, does he got COVID-19 because he was in a bar with everybody else? Like let's ask that. Like nobody want to tell me the real question.
And like Famil said, was it real? Like people get knocked out in professional fights and get up
all the time
and walk to the training room all the time. So he got slept, went to the hospital and got up. That's how it go. And he just got the video was bad because he was. It
did look bad,
man. He was
no
he
brace
was out here like this though. Ooh. Yeah, he got slept, Mills. You're not tipsy with that.
He turned right into the punch though. So did the dude say something to him first? You know what I'm saying?
Yes, they was talking. He tried to diffuse it. He had his arms out like that, and dude slept him.
Mills acting like he haven't been in the club.
The question was
our friend's
question
fault.
was
how
who was he with? You said he was with family and friends because
it was after a wedding or something like that. So it was like
the dude who jawed him. Did he get jumped on? Was any? I didn't see nobody.
People rushed. I don't know who it was, but people definitely rushed.
But it was another dude that tried to get rowdy too, though. His man was trying to get rowdy. But again, Dallas Goedert was slept. He was sleeping.
But once because the issue is if you family and friends, that's the big gun. If the big gun go down with the first punch, it's over. What else we about to do? That's the football player. That's the guy. You don't want to put us on our back and get us out of this bar safely. He got slept. It's over. We go home. What we doing?
Man, you got to go around the sticky after that.
Yeah, you got to. It's over. You got to go. And it's in South Dakota, so I'm sure they ain't got no gun laws.
So Mills, yeah, right. Because probably had it on him too.
Non-violence. We preach non-violence.
I'm not telling them to do it.
Before we get out of here, do you think it's something to the fact that NFL players, I guess, always have, somebody with them just in case, like almost like a bodyguard? I know it's after the wedding, but he is Dallas Goedert, so he had. I mean, not like he not Zach Ertz, but he had somebody with him.
I mean, no. I mean, people should be able to, live their life freely and do what they want. They shouldn't have to. They shouldn't have to depend on somebody else to freaking, save them or to have their back. I mean, it's always good to have friends around, but he had family and friends. What you need a bodyguard for if you got family? You know what I'm saying?
Bro, he got slept. That's why.
But in all fairness, dude sucker punched him. So, I mean, he took a cheap shot. So, it wasn't like he squared up with him. So, I mean, it is.
Squared up. And like you said, you're in South Dakota. You like,
you're home.
Good hair, right?
Yeah, you're home.
But, Mike, to your point, like for real, I don't know. Like I guess I agree with Mills on some point, as far as family and friends. Like if you the ticket, if you the breadwinner, if you the guy, and you with family and friends need to get in front of that ASAP. Like you know what I mean. You got a career, you got something. We got to handle this for you. No, for real. Like you got to treat. I'm not trying to say treat him, but he is doing something that can help the family out, can be longevity, a lot of money bringing in, and we don't need this look, and we don't need you to get seriously hurt on some dumb stuff, some bar stuff. So family to get in front of that immediately and pull him back. To keep it 100.
But the situation, how they explained it, it wasn't like he was trying to diffuse. It wasn't even a situation. People were antagonizing them. He was just trying to diffuse the situation. So I mean that happens. Yes, like with Mills, people should be able to live their life, but we live in a world where you can't do that. So if you're going out, you should have somebody with you. One, you should have somebody with you for. I mean, I'm saying in general. Yeah. I'm not saying athlete. I'm saying just in general. It doesn't matter who you are. You should have somebody with you just in case. You never know what situation you're gonna find yourself in.
Especially if you got the. But the issue, I'm saying, the issue for Dallas Goddard is NFL got the helmet, so maybe everybody don't know. But if you from the city, if you're in the city you're from, people probably gonna know who you are. People gonna be like, yo, that's so and so. So you definitely should have somebody in that case, because you're gonna be a target to be, chastised or to be, what you said earlier in the show, Mike, earlier in the topic. So yeah, you definitely should have a couple people with you that can fight.
Man, that's what I'm saying. Yeah. But I say you only need a couple dudes that can get slept and then leave you anyways.
Yeah.
All right,
sure.
So let's move on. So I asked everybody to get 2 pieces of paper. So we're gonna play a little game here, and it's called Respect It or Reject It. So I'm gonna ask y'all a question. Thank you, Preach, for showing them. See, Preach already got a color coordinated. I don't think the other 2 is that fancy yet. So
no, I got white paper.
I'm gonna ask y'all a question, and it's gonna be do you respect it or reject it? Y'all raise the card that y'all agree with, and I'm gonna go to one of y'all to explain. And if somebody disagree, we may have a little rebuttal. So Brad, so let's go. So first question. So Jamal Adams is trying to force the Jets to trade him. He won he won a new contract. But his contract not up until 2021. So he said, either give me a new contract or trade me. So do y'all respect or reject what Jamal Adams is doing right now?
I respect it. I respect it all the way. For one, this is that simple. He top 3 safety in the game, 4 at best. Rookie deal. The best player on your team. Your captain, and it's certain people that extend and goes farther than what what a normal football player should be, or a normal leader should be. He's beyond leader. He's some type. He would be like totally aligned with the front office and the ownership. It would be like one thing. Like it can go all the way down to Jamal Adams if they had some type of culture or some type of leadership. If they had it, they don't. But if they did, he would be the perfect person to put in there and to mold and to help build that culture up. Even more so to Sam Darnold. You don't hear Sam Darnold talk at all. Jamal Adams is a leader beyond leaders, and I think understanding that Eddie Jackson, I believe, from the Bears is the highest paid safety now at like 14. He's saying I want at least 15, 16, or even some reports saying he wants 17. That's more to be the highest paid Jet, and I think C.J. Mosley, the linebacker, is the highest paid Jet at like 17. But I definitely respect it because y'all not paying nobody else. I'm the best player y'all got. I'm all pro safety, 2-time Pro Bowler. I can't get no better. I am as good. I'm saying I'm exceeded. I can't do no much better. I did the first 2 years. I'm like top 5 in sacks from my position. Like, he is a great player, and I don't think you get a better leadership. And you got him, I think, number 5 in the draft. Like, you can't do no better at 5 in the draft for a player. Jamal Adams deserved all the money he get, and they said it was going to extension, and they didn't do it. So trade me. I'm going. I'm not going to keep playing for y'all for fifth year, and then a franchise tag me, and then try to pay me. We're not doing that. Pay me now. Give me extension because I can't be no better. Pay me.
So Sam, I seen you say you reject it. Why do you reject this?
I don't really think he's that good. I'm gonna be honest. Now, granted, some publications have put him in top 10 safeties in the league, but for me, I don't think he moves the needle as much. I mean, when you look at the Jets as a whole, it's like what was he really doing? Like, they're a bad team.
Being a best player.
Regardless, they're a bad team. They're a bad team with him. Like what? So what? So him leaving, I don't think is gonna really make it that big of a difference. Like I mean, like how many games? Like seriously, what are we talking about? So to be honest, it is what it is. Now, granted, I am sympathetic on one hand because we sort of laud and applaud people in the NBA when they take control of their destiny and they ask for a trade and they do these things. We do applaud them. So I don't want to be hypocritical in that. But my whole stance is for the Jets, like, what difference would it make? You're gonna be bad. So like, why would you pay somebody just to be bad?
I just need to rebut. I need to rebut that one time, bro.
I'll go ahead,
bro. In order to become a better team, you gotta get great players and keep great players, right? You just can't be like, we're gonna be bad anyway, so let's let all the good players we got go. That don't make any sense.
I'm just saying he doesn't move the what like he's not moving the needle.
Being one of the best players at your position moves the needle. Like you can't do nothing. All right, you're right. You got it.
Yeah. Rad, don't feel like arguing with you today. I respect that. Both good points. I will say this: Jamal Adams, the Jets. I think 2 years ago they was like 1-0, and he was like, "Oh, this Jets team is different. I feel it in my bones." They ended up 6-10.
Exactly.
All right. So
we are Bills fans, so it's easy to bag on Jets
here. Yeah, you're right. Jet. All right, Mills. I know. So Dak Prescott signed his franchise tender thing for $31.4 million. After turning down a deal that was like $175 million for 5 years, like around May. So, do y'all respect this or reject this? All right, Millie. So Mills, you put respect. Why do you respect it?
The only reason that I respect it is Dak. I'm not going to say Dak. We're never talking about him, but when it comes to sports and everything, like even our lives, we have to look towards our future. All right, future is something that's very, very important. Dak, I mean, he was looking towards his future as well as the Cowboys' future as well. Especially because we don't know what direction the NFL is going to go in, especially revenue-wise. So Dak could be losing out on a lot of money going forward. But by him, doing what he did, it pretty much put him set in stone. Also, the Cowboys know what
the franchise tag is for 1 year.
Right.
We gotta stop. But I don't know what you mean.
It's for 1 year.
I know you say Mills. I'm with you, Mills.
I don't know.
But the thing.
Go ahead, Mills.
The thing. It's for 1 year, but the thing is, it locks him in for in the future. So if the salary cap or anything goes down, he doesn't lose out on anything.
Okay. So what you're saying is he's going to potentially make more money next year and the following year. Okay. I get what you're saying. I didn't understand what you mean by lock in. I get what you're saying.
Right. I'm just saying he won't be losing. It's pretty much.
There's a chance he can lose though.
Yeah, there's a chance if he get injured. So I mean,
or just up.
Right. Yeah, or just up. That I rejected it because Dak Prescott's terrible. I recall a Thanksgiving Day game, and I don't know if y'all remember this. I recall a Thanksgiving Day game against the Buffalo Bills. I'm telling you, he could not hit Shaq if he was standing 2 feet in front of him. Like, honest to God, he was so erratic. He was terrible. So, me personally, I don't think Dak is a good quarterback. Now, I'm all for getting your money, and $31 million is a lot of money to sign a franchise tag. I mean, that is a lot of money. And hopefully he'll get his money in the future. But Dak Prescott's he's terrible. I would let him walk. In my opinion.
That's not the question. Do you respect him signing the tender? Do you respect him signing that franchise tag?
Well,
do you reject it? Because he turned down more money than 35.
Okay. I'm sorry.
For 5 years.
He betting on himself, so I do respect that. You're betting on yourself, but I reject it because he's terrible, so he shouldn't have done that.
Yeah, similar to
I want to hear because you have both up, so I want to.
Yeah, I have both up because similar to what I said. I respect it because you betting on yourself, right? You betting on yourself, and I think the key to all of this is what Kirk Cousins did, is get into free agency. So if somehow Dak Prescott can get to free agency, he's going to get more money than what the Dallas is going to offer him, regardless, because it's going to be he going to drive a bidding war somehow, some way from teams we think, right? Because Cam Newton don't got a bidding war right now, but we think Dak Prescott will get a bidding war. So the goal is to get to free agency. So I understand that. I respect that 100% from Dak betting on himself. But I rejected it because I don't think Dak is that good.
He's not.
No, I don't think he's that good enough for him to just poo 175 and not take that 5-year deal because, bro, you know what I mean? Like, but I didn't think Kirk Cousins was that good. Yeah, he got fully guaranteed.
Exactly.
So,
he's terrible.
But Kirk Cousins was unique because he was the first one. Dak is the second one, so people are gonna be more, and he black quarterback, so maybe that has something to do with it. Maybe not. I don't know. Let's see. Have more so to be like, yo, we have him with Kirk Cousins. Kirk Cousins, it did make him a little bit better. Minnesota, but probably not. People not saying Minnesota's better than when Case Keenum was
Minnesota want to run more.
They said they're the same team, so we don't know. Cam Newton is still free agents, and I don't think Dak has ever been better than Cam Newton at any time. So. We'll see.
Ever. Yeah.
All right. Whew.
Can I say something? I just wanted to. This is breaking news. I'm sorry. The MLB is back. They agreed to a 60-game season starting in July 1st. So I just seen it. Pop up on the screen. So I just wanted to share it with you.
The season start or the players report back.
They're going to report back July 1st, but they agreed to a 60-game season. I don't know how that's going to look, but I know. Yeah,
all right, what's that? I mean, we got to start watching baseball now, fellas. I watched the Yankees.
I watched
about it.
Yeah,
so
we'll see.
All right, so we appreciate that, Preach. So ESPN came out with a top quarterback play of the Super Bowl era, and the Patriots came in at number 1. So, Preach, what do you think about ESPN ranking the Patriots as the number 1? Do you guys respect that or reject that? Mills, Rat.
I respect it.
All right, Preach. You say you respect it. Why do you respect it?
Tom Brady is the GOAT. He's the greatest of all time. He got the hardware to prove it. I mean, that's really it's simple. Like I really don't have a lot to say. It's a fact. Certain things are facts. Now, granted, they're in a division, and we can't beat them, or we haven't at least. So I mean, the proof is in the pudding. Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. So it just makes sense that they had top quarterback play in the Super Bowl era.
But the Super Bowl era is what, 100 years?
Yeah, but Tom Brady is the greatest quarterback of all time. So all time meaning all time.
But what? So what do you say to a team that had, say, Kaepernick, Alex Smith, Steve Young, Montana?
Let me say this one more time. All time means all time, meaning he is better than everybody you named, and if you combine all of them, he's better than everybody.
No, he's not.
Yes,
but okay, but no.
He said Montana. Montana, Steve Young.
He's better than Joe Montana.
And Steve Young combined.
Bro, shut up. He's better than Steve Young. Yes, he is.
Combined.
But
it's like Michael Jordan is better than Kobe Bryant and give me Dwayne Wade.
What is going on here? All right,
bro,
but
you're bugging.
Okay, saying I hear what you're saying, and I want Mills to get in, but I'm curious because when you said quarterback play, if San Fran had great quarterback play for 50 years and the Patriots had it for 20, wouldn't that mean like San Fran we better? But Mills, go ahead.
Johnny United's Peyton Manning getting.
I just want to, before anybody say anything, so I don't have to do a rebuttal. I'm talking hardware. I don't know what y'all talking. I don't know what's going on with y'all conversations, but I'm talking strictly hardware, and I have it, and I have more of it than anybody else. So that's why I'm the best. Period.
Not the Steelers.
No. Again, I'm gonna say this again. I'm talking hardware.
The Cowboys got 5.
Big Ben, and Bradshaw got more than. What do you mean? They got as many. They got 6.
I was talking hardware from one person. You giving me 16 other people. I'm giving you one person.
Mike, re-ask the question. Re-ask the question, Mike.
That's the question, Sam.
The quarterback play for the Super Bowl era. So who had the best quarterback play over 100 years?
Okay, my thing is, and I'm taking Tom Brady over all these in any of those eras. So you do the math.
Go, Mills, you said that you rejected. Well, I didn't mean to cut you in. Maybe still some of your points. What do you think about that, Mills? I seen you say you rejected. Why do you reject that the quarterback, the Patriots have had the best quarterback play in Super Bowl era?
Because, I mean, Sam pretty much has answered the whole thing for everybody, is you can't just base it on one quarterback. When you're talking about an era, you're talking about multiple people. Like, if you get rid of Tom Brady, would you still put the Patriots as top?
Yeah, people
probably not.
About him.
Mills, if you get rid of your beard, do you still have a beard? What are we talking about? Like,
the thing is,
I'm following you, Mills.
We're talking about a complete era, bro.
Okay, your point.
We're not talking about the last 15 years, 16 years. We're talking about 100 years.
Okay, and I'm telling you, out of 100 years, the top quarterback play in 100 years that I've seen, and I've been privy to.
There you go. Time out. There you go. Right
Tom
there.
Brady.
There you go. There you go.
Like,
no, not the best quarterback play, the best team play. Right, the best quarterback play can be more so pertain to maybe QBR, maybe MVPs like that. Maybe that Aaron Rodgers have more.
But he already answered it. He's seen, like, you haven't seen the people back in 1967. You know what I'm saying?
You haven't either. So what?
Right. Right. But when you look at it as a whole and collectively, you will understand that you can't just base the answer to the question that was proposed to us by our host and just say Tom Brady.
Yeah, I don't necessarily disagree whether the Patriots or not, because Tom Brady probably had like 3 Hall of Fame careers, but since he's just one person. But the Green Bay, they have Aaron Rodgers, Brett Favre, and Bart Starr. Where and the Patriots' next best quarterback is Bledsoe.
Yeah, probably.
Well, what I'm saying is Tom Brady this is what we're forgetting. Tom Brady has stints of careers that's better than every player we just named. I'm just keeping it
bro. I know they're not.
Listen,
let's stop. No, they're not.
Here we go.
No, they're not. Let's go to Tom Brady first. Let's go to Tom Brady beginning of his career, bro. He was not seen as the best quarterback in the NFL in his first 6 years in the NFL. He was not. Even though he had 3 rings, he was not.
He got hardware.
Still considered better than him until he
got hardware.
Until he won his 4th one. Like he had to get 4 Super Bowls to be considered the best. He had to get many. He had to start 4,000 yards. He wasn't doing that. He was a quarterback manager who happened to become better and become the greatest. He was not a Hall of. He was not. He was. Let's say if he never stopped throwing for 5,000 yards.
Here we go.
Similar to like an Eli, I'm not gonna call him Eli Manning, but
here we go.
He the first half of his career he would have made the Hall of Fame, but strictly because of rings. Not he didn't have no MVPs. Maybe I think maybe he had 1, but he wasn't like a perennial MVP or nothing like that. He had a great team with the greatest coach of all time, and he happened to be good too. Can
we stop saying if Tom Brady has 6 rings? Tom Brady is the best quarterback of all time. We know that. That is a fact. Now
I agree.
Okay, so wait a minute. Let me say this. And I don't want to use the Bible, but eyes have not seen. I'm gonna just keep it a stat. He's at Tampa Bay. He got Mike Evans. He got Chris Godwin. He got Rob Gronkowski. We don't know what's about to happen.
Awful.
Okay, that may be true, but let's see him be awful. He can have another 5 years and 2 more Super Bowl rings. Let's just keep it a stat. All I'm saying is Tom Brady is the greatest. And if you talk about quarterbacks, you can combine the 1,600 of them. You can combine 1,000 of them. But at the end of the day, he's better. Just like if I go to the NBA and I say, who had the best shooting guard in a championship era? Michael Jordan is better than every shooting guard combined on every team. Fact though.
If you're saying Tom Brady is the Michael Jordan of the NFL, I think you're bugging. I don't think he's that good. I think he's that good.
Okay, then that's your opinion. I'm talking about 6 rings later. I don't know what you're talking about.
I'm just saying I don't think he's that good.
I'm talking about 6 rings later.
Man,
I think Tom Brady is good, but I don't think he's the Michael Jordan of quarterbacks. I don't think that.
I don't argue this anymore because I don't want to. But I still think Peyton Manning is a far better quarterback. All right.
Just less rings. Okay.
Yeah, but rings is a team thing, especially in football.
Oh, that's horse. That's horse. What you saying is horse.
Let's move on.
All right, Sam is wilding. Sam on his Tom Brady juice today. All right, so now, Rad, I'm gonna come to you because the Bears. Well, I'm gonna come to all y'all, but the Bears was ranked the worst quarterback play. Do you guys respect that or reject that?
Respect that. Respect that. Their best quarterback is Jim McMahon, and he's not even good. I don't think he's even in the Hall of Fame.
I'm so glad that Sam put that. So, Rad, explain. So, is it just because Jim McMahon is the best quarterback?
Yeah, he's their best quarterback. They got. I think that's their lone Super Bowl, if I'm not mistaken. He was carried by the best defense of all time. And besides that, they have no good quarterbacks. They have probably one other Pro Bowl quarterback who was, I think, Cutler made a Pro Bowl a couple times. But their quarterback situation has been putrid. I don't think they have any Hall of Fame quarterbacks to my knowledge. They might. I could be mistaken, but I don't believe they have any Hall of Fame quarterbacks or all perennial, all pro or all Pro Bowl guys. So by far, yeah.
So Sam, you say you reject that. Why do you reject it?
You don't know why.
I do know why, and I'm about to tell you. And while we do have an amazing quarterback,
just tear up your respect paper while you at it.
Can I say what I got to say? Let me say it. Josh Allen, Tyrod Taylor, Ryan Fitzpatrick, Trent Edwards, J.P. Lossman, a doodoo Drew Bledsoe, Alex Van Pelt, Rob Johnson, Doug Flutie, Todd Collins, Vince Ferragamo, Joe Ferguson,
Rob
Dennis
Fergie.
Shaw,
No, you're not about to disrespect Joe Ferguson. That's what you're not about to do on this show.
Jack Kemp.
You're not about to disrespect Jack Kemp.
Now listen, I skipped.
Yeah,
obviously,
Hall of Famer.
Jim.
Listen, you omit it.
Jim Kelly, but I will say if you go to the Super Bowl 4 times and lose, you're terrible. So with that being said, I would say the Bills had the worst quarterback play of all time, and I witnessed a lot of it. In my lifetime, I've never seen a good quarterback on the Bills, and that's a fact. That's a fact. Ever in my lifetime.
So in your lifetime, you seen a good
quarterback?
On your lifetime, you seen a good quarterback on the Bears?
Yes.
Who?
Grossman?
Rex Grossman. Yeah.
Are you?
Rex Grossman.
Dump button. Gotta hit the dump button. Radom was
Rex Grossman was better than every quarterback that we had besides.
You are ridiculous.
He only had like 6 years in the league. What are you talking
Name a quarterback better. Name a quarterback better.
Drew Bledsoe was better than Rex Grossman.
Drew Bledsoe was not bad.
Not our Drew Bledsoe.
Yes, he was. He was a Pro Bowler. Our Drew Bledsoe was a Pro Bowler.
Anybody can be in a Pro Bowl, right? You know, it's just a shame.
All right, you got it. But Rex Grossman wasn't, though. Anybody can, but Rex Grossman wasn't.
He got the Super Bowl.
Oh, my God.
Who was in the pudding?
You're killing me, bro.
I'm dead. All right, so Mills, I'm gonna come to you because I'm coming to everybody, but Mills, I'm gonna go to you first for your answer. Lamar Jackson said in an interview that they overlooked the Tennessee Titans in the playoffs. So, do y'all respect that or do you reject that? Ooh. So Rad waited because Rad wanted to be contrarian. But go ahead, Mills. Why do you reject that?
That was one of the dumbest responses I ever heard.
It is sore losing.
Go ahead,
because you are a professional athlete. You put your all into your craft. I mean, granted, it is a team game, but you're the leader on the team. You're the one that everybody look to. And by you saying that lets me know that the rest of your team probably thought the same thing. Yeah, but that's a problem because, I mean, Tennessee totally made a total turnaround last season. They ended the season, I think, 7-3. Tannehill lost 3 games, I think. So they had great play. Their chemistry was there, and the run game was just nasty. And for you to think you're gonna come into the game and get a smooth game, everything gonna go your way, is a terrible way to look at it. And to top it off, in the wild card game, they just destroyed the Patriots.
Mm-hmm.
And that's one of the teams that we look at as being, you know, one of the better teams, the tougher teams. You know,
best quarterback play in Super Bowl era.
For sure.
You know what I'm saying? And the crazy thing about the game against the Baltimore game is that it was a lot to do with the defense. If you look at the stats, you look at everything, Baltimore actually ran almost double the amount of plays that Tennessee ran that game. I think it was 92-53. Time of possession was like 34-27. So you had the ball in your hands for a good amount of time in the game. You just couldn't capitalize.
Turnovers.
I think Tennessee pretty much intimidated them. The game went downhill early. Lamar Jackson threw an interception early in the game. Tennessee, you know, got their momentum. You know, they felt, oh, we got this under control. They did what they had to do on the ground. Tannehill only threw the ball 15 times. That means he was relaxed. That means he had nothing to worry about. They was never down. There was no concern. And you come and say that you thought you had an easy win.
He got about $5 million for every pass he threw, too.
All right, Rat. So you said you respect it. Why do you respect that comment?
No. Let me go, and then Rat can rebuttal because me and Mills rejected. So, because I'm agreeing with everything Mills is saying. The reality is he's right. Tennessee beat the Patriots in Foxborough, and I don't know if y'all remember that, but in Vegas and even in here on a sports betting tip, Tennessee was, it was getting some money. That money line was moving over there. The money line was moving to Tennessee because everybody was calling for the upset because they had the right formula. Now, like the Ravens are a better team, but at the end of the day, for Lamar Jackson to say they overlooked them, I think the right word is the moment got too big for them. I think they started to smell their own.
They got big-headed, man.
Yeah, they got big-headed. My godfather, he would say smell your own pee, but that's another story for another day. But the reality is that the moment got too big, and they really couldn't do nothing with the Tennessee Titans. So that's how I feel, right?
I guess so. Sam, you know, betting is up my alley. So you saying that people was betting for Tennessee to win outright, or for Tennessee?
They was going for the upset. First of all, the point spread was too big. I think the point spread was double digits at a point. It opened at double digits. But I saw people outright.
I don't remember anybody predicting that. Talk about the money was on Tennessee.
Listen. I remember being in a hallway at work, and they said, "Yo, let's all put in." I remember this vividly. They said, "Yo, let's all put in $20 because we were just throwing something at the wall. We were gonna put $100 on Tennessee money line." I'm telling you, money line. It was 5 of us, and I'm not gonna lie. I didn't bet with them. But they got cold feet because it was a Baltimore Raven fan in the mist, and they put the money on Baltimore, and they was sick because they would have won a pretty penny if they'd have put $80 on that money line. But Rat, you can go.
Go ahead, Rat.
For one, I agree with Mills on the fact that they weren't prepared and all that, but that still doesn't mean the fact they didn't overlook them, right?
Why wasn't they prepared?
That's hindsight, right? Or because they overlooked them. You know what I mean? They didn't. It's the same thing as saying, like, did the Patriots overlook the Giants? The 17-0 Patriots overlooked the Giants. Patriots say that. Some Patriots say that. Some Patriots say that. They didn't fully prepare. They didn't understand. You know what I mean? So what I'm saying is that it's real. For the fact is, it's a learning point where they understand, like you said, they wasn't good for the moment. I think they not overlooked the Titans, but overlooked the moment. Overlook how prepared you got to be, how playoffs is different, how everybody got a different game plan, how you got to adjust your game plan, how you got to because they most of the time Ravens was playing with the lead. now they had to play. They was playing from back, right? Everything didn't go as smoothly as they did. I think they overlooked the situation and how to handle it. You know what I mean? I think for a young quarterback, for him to say that, I don't think it's disrespect to the Titans. I think when people hear that, they saying that's disrespect to the Titans, like they weren't good. No, we overlooked far as like I could have prepared more. I could have been better. I could have did more. But I took it as a regular day. I took it as a regular game. And I thought we was just gonna go line up against these boys and be better than them. And I probably should have went that extra step, that extra length to be better. And we didn't do that.
Okay, so let me say this then, because I know how you feel, Rat. So Mills and Sam, do y'all agree that NFL players do overlook certain teams, and or do y'all believe in the quote unquote the trap game? And if I need me to kind of explain what the trap game is, I can.
No, I do believe in not just NFL teams, but you can't overlook opponents. There is
I want to keep it to pro sports. I don't want to talk about Little League.
Well, NFL players, you can't overlook opponents. You can, or pro football players or whatever. You can definitely have trap games. Absolutely.
Okay, what do you think about that, Mills?
I agree.
Do you think players do overlook opponents?
Wait.
Yeah.
No.
Like. Prime example. First of all,
This doesn't make sense. Did y'all hear the answer last topic?
Yes,
what are y'all talking about?
Wait, though.
First of all, you can overlook teams. I'm saying that the Ravens did not overlook Tennessee. It was a playoff game. It was what are we talking about? It was a divisional.
Right, you got it.
Stop lying.
You got it.
It was trash.
Because you know. Because you know. You don't know. You do not know. You don't know.
Tennessee had a better game plan.
Tennessee had a better game plan. You don't know that. So you know who overlooked other people. You
don't. Let me say this, Mike. Mike, let me say this. You can overlook. A prime example of a team overlooking. I just had it. Oh, the Patriots overlooking the Miami Dolphins. Now, some would say Miami always beat them, but I remember we was what?
Go ahead.
The Patriots
that was essentially a playoff game. That was if they lost, they don't get a first round bye. That's essentially a playoff game.
It was the worst team in the league. They overlooked them. Now that's overlooking. They thought they had that.
Go ahead. Go ahead, Mills. Go ahead, Mills.
That's a fact.
I mean, all I was gonna say is, I think people do overlook them, but should they? No. That's the only thing.
Of course not.
Oh my God! So
the argument.
Yo, rat. Let me go. And this why I love that y'all are doing this, because all three of y'all are wrong. I think because I take my cue from Micah Hyde. He on Mondays after Bills games, he go on the radio and they talk, and he said that whole overlooking trap game is BS. He said that for all the players he ever been around, for the teams he been on, he said everybody, they all prepare the same every single week. And he said that nobody overlooked them. That's the media that overblow it. The trap game stuff is nonsense. And there's data to back up that the good teams win those games just as much as any other time. So the whole trap game is foolish. But this is why
no, it's not.
This is why I love this conversation. That's why I love this conversation, because we pick and choose when we want to say somebody overlooked them. So we say that the Ravens.
Not me. I'm consistent. I'm the only one consistent.
But then the Patriots didn't overlook the Dolphins, but they did. But then the Ravens didn't. Like how do we know? How can we know? How can we know?
The thing.
Listen.
The point. One point.
Okay.
1 point.
How do we know?
The only thing is, the professional athlete, the quarterback, is the one that stated that they overlooked the team. This isn't our opinion.
That's better. That's better to say that we went out there and got our ass whooped. It's better to say that we overlooked them.
Yeah, maybe he's telling the truth though.
Bro, how many drop passes did they have?
Can I say this?
Did they drop those passes because they overlooked them? No, they just dropped the ball that game.
He was lying. They just lost. But I will say this. You asked the question, how do we know? Because we pick and choose. A wise man once told me, it's like porn. You know it when you see it. You know what I'm saying? You ain't gotta. There's no if and a but about it. When you see it, you just know it. That's porn. That's what that is. Like you know it when you see it, and that's what it is. We're overlooking teams. You know it when you see it. It's like momentum. People say that doesn't exist. The numbers say that, but we know it exists. You know it when you, but that's not true.
I don't.
We know it when we know when momentum shifts.
No, we don't.
It does. That is a
we already argued that.
Because you may not know because you may not be in tune with your sports.
I am data driven.
Show
me data that shows me that the trap game exists. You can't show me data that momentum actually means something.
Mike, the whole idea of overlooking, the whole idea of trap is a mindset. Yeah. Data has issues with mindset.
It's a theoretical
because they cannot. Let me say this. Okay, what you're saying, it doesn't matter.
No, it doesn't. Let me say this. So it could be 10 trap games in 1 week, right? So say just hear me. It's 10 trap games. 9 of those teams, the better team win. Nobody says anything. But if the better team loses to one, trap game. What about the other 9? So
I'm glad you said
one
that.
team was the only one that got caught.
I'm glad you said that. I'm glad you said that. Because the definition of a good coach is defined by a few things. One is for basketball, out of bounds plays. That's one kind of like we kind of look at those things. Yep. Two response to adversity. Some underlying intention, whatever happens. And 3 is what I like to call trap games. It's how do you get your team up for those games when they're overlooking. It happens a lot in college. Not because we're dealing with
and that's why I'm keeping it to pro. I'm keeping it to pro.
Okay, you keep the pro.
These players are played.
Okay, you can keep it to pro all you want, but it's still trap games because if you talk to NBA players, they'll tell you if we playing a doo-doo team, or it don't matter the situation. Sometimes we overlook them. You know what I mean for the Christmas game. For stuff like that, like the game 1 is the game. That's statistics.
No game.
Let me.
The Lakers Sixers game. They overlooked this. They overlooked the Sixers. AI dropped 40 and they got game 1. They was undefeated. Let me define trap game. Trap game is when you have a great team, then you have a terrible team, and you have a great team. You have a bad team sandwiched in between 2 great teams. So my point is, if Seattle loses to the Bills when the Bills was terrible, in a quote unquote trap game, that's all you hear about. But if they lose to the Bills, say just a random week 10, nobody ever talks about it. It's not
was it a trap game?
No. Say if it wasn't a trap game, say they.
Okay, so if it wasn't, why are we talking about it then?
Because when good teams lose to bad teams, it happens. Like,
Mike, but you gotta have that third force. The third force is the
third force.
Yeah, it's 2 forces. Yeah. What's the third force? The third force is I'm sorry. That's my bad. I'm mixing things here. But follow me here. Follow me though.
I'm following you, bro.
The third force is that great team that's coming, right? Now, if you don't have that great team that's following, that can potentially take some of that concentration, or the media talking about that next game, right? Yeah. I remember it. I know you don't want to keep it to sports. I know you want to keep it to pro, but I'm just going to say it because it applies to us. I remember Hush Tech.
Middle college
football, bro.
Oh, okay, my bad.
Football.
But that's one in there, Mike.
About football. No, it's not. It was Lafayette. It was Lafayette and another team that was supposed to play the week after we played Lafayette, and they were supposed to be both undefeated. But they had to play us first, and it was in the newspaper. We like, what? And my coach back has put that in bulletin board and said, "Yo, they're potentially overlooking us. They're talking about 2 undefeated teams that's coming up, and we like, what? And we beat Lafayette, an undefeated team, and they start losing after that. You know what I mean? So I think potentially that got into the Lafayette team. We didn't just beat them, we blew them out. You know what I'm saying? So. And we weren't like the best team. We was in.
I remember that game,
and we beat them. And I think that has an effect.
And let's talk about middle college.
That's not pro. He want to leave it at pro.
And that's fine. But the reality is, people are people. Emotions are emotions. Right. And
when you get paid, it's different.
No, that's horse. Listen, people have emotions. Matter of fact, it's heightened. The sense of emotion is heightened. But that's another story for another day. We played middle college, and you remember like it was yesterday at Grover. They overlooked us. Everybody was talking about the Sweet Home and middle college game. Everybody was talking about that, Mike. That's a fact.
We played middle college. Okay,
deny that didn't help us.
It didn't, bro. We played them in college. We played them a couple weeks before, and what was the score?
I can't.
I know you
got
remember.
blown out.
I don't.
No, we did not.
Yes, we did.
We lost by 2 points. We lost by 2 points because Stokes stole the inbound. Stokes stole the inbound, and we lost to them by 2 points.
I don't remember that. Now we overlooked them. No, the year after they blew us up and they got Sean. The year after, but it was just Rel, Stokes, and Dean. No, we lost by 10. We lost by 10. I'm telling you, we lost by 10. I remember the game like it was yesterday.
No, you don't.
Where was the game at?
It was at 10. Because the JV gang got canceled. All right, but we can move on. But
and the JV game, why did the JV game not get canceled?
Yes, it is. My point is this. My point is this: is that it should be statistical data to back up the fact that these good teams lose to these bad teams. Because then this how you know it's different.
But that's horse. That's horse.
You can't.
Yes,
everything can't be in analytics. Everything can't be.
Like that's your problem, right?
You can't.
No, it's not.
But the whole idea of a trap game is to throw out analytics. That is the point.
Yeah, it's a mental thing. It's a mental thing.
Like you're looking ahead.
Okay,
who overcomes it or doesn't? There's no reason you should lose to a bad team.
Y'all looking at just one team, but my thing is I can't do that. So it must say if good teams beat bad teams 90% of the time, and the good teams beat bad teams 90% of the time in trap game, that means it just is what it is. The 10% is going to happen, whether it's happening in a trap game, whether it's week 1, week 17. The good teams lose to bad teams all the time, and I don't know why we always look for some reason besides the bad team just won. I don't get that.
We can move on, but I'm gonna say this: we can move on. But the reality is that I challenge your definition of a trap game because with those analytics, they do not include like the context of what's going on. Like we gotta mention that like context matters, and it's because certain situations like what things talking about it on the news, things on social media, like those things impact players. We know that. Like we see it all the time.
Because analytics.
Yeah.
Because analytics, it will make perfect more sense if everything was shut off. If everything was in a vacuum, if it was no build up to other games, and it was just this team, the best team will always win. When you throwing all this other stuff in,
no, it's not always.
Yes, it is because all this other stuff is in here. That's why in basketball series, the best team always wins because it's 7 games. It's 7 games.
It's 7 games.
The best team always wins in the NBA because it's 7 games.
Bro, all you gotta do is put in put on the game, play the demo on Madden, pick the best team, pick the worst team. Best team wins.
I love when Mills is on your side.
No, Mike. You can move on.
We can keep
Mike,
going.
move on. Move on from that.
So, all right, this is last one. Last one for respect or rejected. Thank you, Mills. Thank you, Mills. I feel like I just won that. So the last one. So got Davis Bertans is opting to sit out. Bertans, however you want to say it. He is opted to sit out. And I miss a career year. He's not going to play when the NBA comes back in their bubble because he said, I don't want to get hurt. I had injuries in the past. I'm sitting out. I'm about to be a free agent. I want this life-changing money. So do y'all respect that or reject that?
It's simple, real quick.
I guess I respect it.
Bertans, I think Bertans is on the Washington Wizards.
Yep. On the list for comeback player of the year.
Yeah, he actually his 3-point shooting ability is very good, but they suck. That's number one. And number two, he is going to get a big contract. He's a specialist 3-point shooter, person come off the bench. So if I'm him, I really have no incentive of playing. Like, what is the point? Right? And two, he's going to get the contract. Like, whatever money he's going to get now, I don't think 28 games or whatever, however many games is going to change that fact. Like, the money is the money, the market is the market.
That's like a quarter of a season.
Well, I'm saying in this COVID-19 like space, like I don't think that it's going to change that big. And also, we have so many players. It's just it's just not worth it. Like Isaiah Thomas still hasn't got his money, and he never will. And that was a different situation. He actually had something to play for. But at the end of the day, Isaiah Thomas is looking like, yo, I'm getting $1 million. I'm getting $1 million every year. When he had $100 million on the table, it's just not worth it. Don't play. Simple.
I respect that.
Kevin Durant.
So,
Do you want me to keep going?
No, Durant been hurt all year. So another player that's not playing is Trevor Ariza. He got a custody battle going on, so he isn't going to play. Because he doesn't want to lose custody of his child. So as Black men and Black fathers, just say a couple words about that. If y'all think that's commendable or not. Because Father's Day just passed, and we talked about how Father's Day is not as big as Mother's Day, and fathers don't get that much love. But here's a father doing the right thing. So, you being a dad, what you got to say?
I think you do everything you can for your child. I think it's a sad situation when you even in that position to fight for custody, and I will hope and wish that they figure something out where it's for best for both, because I think a child needs, and I think it's the best results when it's have both parents in his life. So but I do commend him. You know what I mean? Some things are bigger than the game. It's always another year. Well, potentially, but your child is unique, and there's only one of them, or it's unique. So he's unique. He's one of a kind, and you do everything you can to be in his life, stay in his life, and make sure he knows he a priority. So I commend him for that.
Shan, you got something to respond?
I would say this. I originally had the position because I'm speaking from position of my father was always a part of my life, from the day that I was born, and I grew up in a 2-parent household. So all I know is a strong Black father. So for me, like when I hear these things, I'm kind of hesitant, because it's like, that's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to take care of your family. I mean, you signed up for this month for custody, and you got to take care of your son. Like, that's what my father did. But I can't be naive, and I can't neglect the fact that there are a lot of fathers that may not be doing that for their kids. So, but Trevor Ariza, it's commendable. I mean, you said you were going to do this, and you're doing it. And unfortunately, you have to miss out on some money. But at the end of the day, you understand that the child is more important, and this is more important. So I appreciate it.
Oh, nice. So, Mills, I want to come to you and ask you this. So, yes, these are lower name players. Trevor Ariza, no ring with the Lakers. No, so we know about him. But how many of these top name players do you think will have to sit out for the NBA to be like, okay, never mind, no, we just not going to do it? If some top name players start sitting out.
I honestly think it's going to take a good amount of them, because although the ratings and the viewings may go down when the top players, opt to sit out, but the whole thing is the game can still go on. You can have – they can bring all the D-League players up to the NBA.
Nobody's watching that, bro.
I agree. But that doesn't mean that they're going to stop just because LeBron says he's going to opt out. Kawhi says he's going to opt out. The game can still go on. So I think, they still got money to be made. People are bored. They're gonna tune in. It may not get the same audience bored. that they were getting. Bruh, if ain't nothing else on TV.
Listen, if the top players, if all the All-Stars say we're not playing, there will not be a season. That is a fact. Or at least it will not be a COVID season. The season is over. It's done so. 86 it. Because to be honest, the NBA will probably end up spending more money, trying to get everything right than they'll make, because ain't nobody watching that nonsense. All the TV people, they're back out.
The money already made.
The money is not already made.
Why isn't it?
It's a breach of contract.
What?
It's a breach of contract. ESPN is going to say that's a breach of contract. You promised me LeBron James Kevin Durant and so on and so forth, and I got T.J. Warren and God knows who, Gennaro Pargo. I don't know, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, that's a breach of contract. I don't know what that.
If you're telling me it's a breach of contract, then all right. But I don't know if that's the case because they're giving people the option not to play, right? That's a real option. That's not, and you're not getting fined, and you're not getting your money, but it's not being held against you in no other type of way. So if they're if that's an out, then because the TV, all they got to do is have the show going. If the show is going, the TV money's already paid. They're not getting no ticket money. So all it is just TV money, and they already got it.
No. The TV money is not already paid. That's not true.
I mean,
like the TV money, like some
for this
TV
year
money was paid
for this year.
No, not all the TV money was not paid because if they don't have this COVID, that's not. I'm gonna tell you why. If they don't have this COVID-19 season, they already said it. The players are going to lose millions, and the owners are going to lose
on a
tens of millions of dollars.
On the back end, maybe they already paid for this year.
Yeah, but which they did not. You can't, Brad. They paid. But at the end of the day, if the season is not finished, they get that money back. That's a fact.
At the back end sometime, yes. But the money for this year has already you're not about to. They're not getting paid. The NBA is not getting a check every game they play from ESPN. They give them the money up front.
No, I understand that. They already talked about 25% of the money is already going to be cut in half, and then the next CBA is going to be affected. They already said that.
Yes.
If there's no COVID-19 season.
So
you are losing money.
Yes, future. I'm talking about for this year, putting something in front of the TV for people to watch couldn't be good enough because they understand the circumstance. It's not. It's nuanced to the circumstance. It's not just LeBron not playing because he's striking because he don't like the NBA. He playing because concerns of health. So I think it's a nuance and some type of thing where. Now I'm not saying people gonna watch anyway, but I'm saying ESPN gonna show it anyway. I'll tell you that much. Well, ESPN and Turner is gonna show it anyway. I bet you that.
I'm not watching Nene.
They pay for it. They pay for it.
Yeah, I'm not watching that. So
yeah. I agree, but they pay for it.
And nobody else.
ESPN is showing Japanese baseball, bro. Like they're going to put that on TV.
For one, it's Korean baseball.
Sorry,
for sure.
I'm sorry.
No,
Korean. I thought. I know Japan is really good, so it could be Korean. I'm sorry.
And Korean baseball is better than DiVincenzo. And I don't know who else.
You're saying you've been pissing Rad off all day. All right, but so I agree with y'all with the NBA. The NBA they're gonna put it on, but I mean, if LeBron and AD not there, like, do I really want to see the Lakers play? Probably not, but we're gonna see. But I don't think I think the top name players are gonna play. You may have a couple, but for the majority of them are going to play. Enough is going to play that they will proceed.
Hooper's going to hoop, bro.
Yeah, I mean,
Hooper's going to hoop.
I know it's different time though. I feel you, but I do. I didn't get a chance to play Respect or Reject, so I want to play myself. And for me, I want to talk about Ja Rule because Ja Rule made a commercial for Papa Cristo's. It's a mom and pop shop. A Greek restaurant in LA, and he did a commercial for them. And regardless of the reason behind it, I reject that all the way. I reject everything that happened in a commercial, even though it's for a great cause, because he's doing it because COVID and these restaurants are struggling. It was way too much cooning going on in that video for me. So I reject that. I reject Ja Rule, and he inspired this list. So I told y'all to put together the top 5 corniest people in hip hop, because to me, Ja Rule, what he did was so ridiculous corny. I want to know, did he make y'all list? So Mills, I'm gonna start with you. Well, Mills, to start with you, give me your top 5 corniest people in hip hop. And hip hop is, to me, DJs, any type of entertainer in hip hop, rappers. You could even say singers too. So give me your top 5 list, Mills.
Ja Rule did make the list after that. But after hearing the backdrop, it wasn't too bad. But Ja Rule.
But they got Tzatziki. Like, what was that, bro? Come on, bro. You can't speak now.
I don't know those raps either though. So all the names
either, bro. But if I'm gonna do a commercial, I can go out there and look all stupid.
Yeah,
but he knew it was corny. He knew it was corny.
Black people. it's no longer cool to not know shit. It's no longer cool to be, no, bro, I don't read. That's no longer cool. It's no longer cool to be able to do math. It's not cool that you can't pronounce those words. If you can't pronounce them, learn to pronounce them and do a real commercial. Don't go out there and look stupid on behalf for make white people laugh. I'm sorry, Mills. That was my TED talk. I'm done.
One point before I go on. I think it was purposely done though, because if you read the little article behind
it's
it,
cooning because he was cooning. Yes,
I get you. But the thing is, if he was serious, it would not have blew up as much as it did.
It was purposely done, but you're
right. Cooning.
Blow up.
So cooning for profit.
Okay.
I mean that's not common at all. Go ahead, Mills. Give us your top 5.
Top 5: Ja Rule, Soulja Boy, Lil Bow Wow, or is he Bow Wow now? Shad Moss, whatever.
Wow, you.
Yeah,
Mills with the Shad Moss. Okay.
Young and May, and
okay, I like that.
to top it off, DJ D-Rec.
I don't even know who
the
that is.
corniest.
DJ D-Rec from Wildin' Out.
He's the corniest.
DJ D-Rec.
I was crying. Yo, Mills, you never cease to amaze me.
Yo,
you never cease to amaze me. You never cease to amaze me. Never cease to amaze me. Okay,
Mills.
That's hilarious.
Wait, explain the Young and May. What's up with that?
Young and May is corny. I agree.
Where? I never thought about
terrible. Yeah.
Or her rapping or her person? Her as a
it's
person.
just quiet for her.
I think it's just her as a total. I think she.
I'm with him. I'm with him on
that.
I gotta explain. I don't.
Well, go ahead, man. That's Mills' list. I respect that. Go ahead, Sam.
It's a quality list, Mills. That's better than I thought.
Okay, it was a good list. DJ D-Rec took it. Now, this is not in order, but Big Sean
is corny.
He's corny.
Oh, wow.
Little Mama.
Oh,
she's terrible.
Yeah, she's terrible.
The entire YMCMB minus Drake and Wayne is corny. and let me hold on. Wait a minute.
Gunna? Not Gunna. What's his name?
Gutter.
That's what it's called.
What about J Mill?
Little Twist.
Okay, wait. T Streets. I guess Darnell was on there. I don't know.
Shout out to my guy Streets.
Yeah, he is Young Moolah.
Yeah, exactly. Mac Name, Lil Twist, Chanel, Corey Guns, Paris Hilton, Flo, and it's just a host of other bad people.
Hilton, like
exactly.
Whatever.
The whole YCMB minus Drake and Wayne, JoJo Simmons, he cracks the list.
Wait, hold on. Wait, Diggy or JoJo? Oh, JoJo,
Big brother.
JoJo,
Big brother.
JoJo Simmons. Yeah, for sure.
I was thinking of the youngest one.
Oh no.
I forgot about JoJo. All right.
JoJo,
what was that
JoJo
for?
Simmons cracked the list. That was 4. And last, you know what? I'm looking at the name and I gotta take them off. It was Roscoe Dash. It was, but I'm gonna take Roscoe Dash off because Roscoe Dash, he's very influential. Yeah, he's actually very influential in our upbringing. So go to Rad, and I'm gonna get another one. Go to Rad.
Go ahead, Rad.
And that Falls Party was that thing. Roscoe
Man,
I got like 10. I got a lot of people on my list, but I'm gonna just
5, bro.
Khaled, DJ Khaled.
Okay.
Cornball.
All right.
Cornball.
I thought about
YK Osiris. Cornball.
Oh, raw.
Oh,
Ain't gotta
he's
be
a
perfect.
cornball.
He's gotta be worth it.
Unpopular. I mean, he's 6'9". Cornball, the corniest of the corniest. Cornball. This is tough. I think Nick Cannon is a cornball, but he's cool. I respect him, but I think he's corny. And Cameron corny. I don't like Cameron.
Oh,
wow.
I'm glad I'm wearing my shirt today.
Killa Cam is cornball.
I'm glad I'm wearing my shirt today.
Cornball.
The niggas get shot every day, B.
Cornball.
Come on, pay them for it, bro. How dare you? Dipset? That was a whole movement. Yo, you wild.
How he chose to rap in a certain a certain time of his career was cornball-esque. He didn't have
Bro, it was a style, bro.
better than that.
Bro, that was the pink.
He lowered his standards of rapping for a segment of his career, and it was corn. And that was the segment I started listening, and it was cornball tendency. It was cornball. Chitty.
Man, that's crazy.
Who gets a ditty? Like, it was all terrible. What was he doing? He was nursery rhyme rapping.
Wow,
he was nursery rhyme rapping. It was cornball-esque. I had other people on my list, but I'm just threw Cameron in there just for my
your list is awful because he's the reason why your earrings are square. Like, come on, bro. The pink, that movement, that Dipset, my whole Dipset movement was crazy.
Cameron himself.
I'm not taking any Cam slander on this show. I don't care.
Okay, I'll take it all day. He's a
what is your list?
But Rad, we no, hold on, man. I gotta speak up here for the culture. But no, Rad and I, we argue about the camera stuff all the time. So I won't do it here. I know how you feel. He know how I feel. But corny is not a word that should ever be associated with my man Killa. So just going, if you say you don't like his raps, but he's not corny,
his rap was corny. it was nursery rhyme. It was cornballs. It was cornballs. Nick Cannon's corny.
It was hard.
Mike, what is your list?
That's fine. Man, I understand, Stan. I know you want to keep going, but you know what he just said and how triggered I am.
He said I'm gonna go ahead and give my list. Corny. I mean,
yeah, I know, and that bothers me. So
Sam didn't disagree. He had disagreeing soul. He didn't say I'm wilding.
I'm not the biggest Cam fan. I wouldn't necessarily like throw a label like corny, but it is teachers on.
No, it's not. All right, but I'm gonna give my list. So I really didn't want to put this person on because I think his whole gimmick is corny, but it's kind of corny on purpose type of thing. Like, I always thought it was corny, and that's 6ix9ine. And I don't want to talk too much more about him because everything about it is terrible. I hate that he gets so much love. I don't want to call it love, but so much attention because people like to see fires, I guess. Number 4, I have a DJ on here, but I have DJ Envy. I hate DJ Envy so much. He is so corny. 3, put Nicki Minaj. I do like that we all have women on our list. We are equal opportunity corniness here. 2 was Ja Rule. I always thought he was corny between that whole campfire to whatever he did. That was corny. The whole halftime show, just the 50 Cent made him the worst rapper ever. Now this whole Papa Christos, like Ja Rule is number 2. And to me, the corniest person of all is I have on my list Shad Moss. I didn't even put Bow Wow. I put Shad Moss. And I don't know what happened to him when he got so corny, but bro, he is super corny. Everything he touched now it turns into corn. He's like you say your uncle, when your uncle see corn, he know corn. When I see Bow Wow, I see corn. He corny as hell.
I don't agree with that. I definitely don't agree with that. I don't agree with Bow Wow. I don't agree with Nick Cannon. I don't agree with. No, he's not. No, he's not. No, he's not. I
thought about Nick Cannon.
I don't want to make this. I don't want to. I really don't want to talk about that. But Bow Wow and Nick Cannon, no. And who was the other one?
6ix9ine cornball. DJ Khaled cornball.
DJ Envy. Yeah. So we
DJ Envy cornball.
Listen, I got 3 people. Runner up on my 5th. I had to take out Roscoe Dash. I'm gonna throw Macklemore a bone. I'm gonna throw Kerry Hilson a bone, and I'm gonna throw.
Mike, that's my stand. No Kerry Hilson slander. I love Kerry Hilson, dog. I love Kerry Hilson, bro. That's
I don't. So.
All right, and so I am going to say this because Sam kind of mentioned this person earlier. A runner-up for me, even though I love this person's music, was Drake. Because Drake seemed like a person I would not ever want to hang out. I would not ever want to hang with. To me, he is corny. And I don't know, maybe it's just hate, but people always coming at him. Is it because it's hate or because everybody else realize how corny he is? Because we just had Swiss Beats pretty much say, yo, what up? If you want beef, it's beef.
Arrogant.
So let's leave on that note. What did y'all think about Swiss Beats calling him out on Instagram Live?
B.O.B. was a runner-up. But
Chance the Rapper was mine.
Sam's just naming people now.
No, I'm not. Childish Gambino too, but y'all gonna be mad at me. But anyways, for the Swiss Beats, it was kind of crazy. But I mean, Swiss Beats said what he said. So obviously, it's some underlying things that we don't know about that may have or may have not going on. We don't know. But this is not the first person to say this about him. So I mean, like, if multiple people are saying certain things about this one person, chances are it's probably true.
Might be true.
It's probably not hate.
No.
What you say? Yeah, it's probably true. Rad, you're a bigger Drake fan than I am. What you think about that?
I think it's a combination. It could be some truth to it, and it could be some hate. I think the truth to it, because he's in a position to do things. He in a position to, like, because come on, bro, he's not the first person to get a record, hold a record, and not release it. Like everybody in the industry have probably done that. Like for him to be mad that a record wasn't released is insane to me. I mean, I'm sure he got records that's not released. You know what I mean? So it got to be other things. I'm assuming that has to be with it. And a lot of times with Drake, it's females. So he might have hit a chick. He might have talked to a girl. A lot of times it's females around it. Honestly, the whole Meek Mill thing was, honestly, people say it was because of females and a lot of stuff. It's a lot of female activity that Drake deal with and do. I'm not condoning it. I'm saying it, but a lot of times it has something to do with that. And a lot of females love Drake, and he get a lot of attention from that. So it could be potentially that too. You never know. He got records with Alicia, and he got records with Swiss
Beats. I have to vehemently disagree with the Soulja Boy take. I don't know who said it, but Soulja Boy has a classic album, and Soulja Boy, he wrote the soundtrack to our life.
What
like
I
are you serious? Soulja Boy has a classic album, and Soulja Boy from freshman year of high school, sophomore year of high school.
So do Drake.
That means he's not corny?
No, he's not corny at all. And while I'm saying Soulja Boy, I can't mention Soulja Boy. I cannot mention Soulja Boy. I cannot. I don't want to.
Who said Big Soulja from the hood?
Yeah, I cannot mention Soulja Boy, and I don't want to put a somber note, but I gotta say, rest in heaven to my man Mark Corny. You know what I'm saying? Who was Soulja? He was. That's who he was in high school for the first couple of years. Give it a stat.
A year.
Yeah,
just because he kind of looked like him.
Okay,
that wasn't because like he thought like Soulja Boy was dope.
I'm just keeping it a stat.
No, Soulja Boy did push a lot of things for. I give you that.
Yeah,
he did not write no soundtrack to my life. What are you talking
about? Yes, he did. And Soulja Boy.
Sam keeps saying that. He keeps saying that. My life was written by Dipset, and that's why I was upset by Rad. I don't know what. Maybe you was Diddy bopping the Soulja Boy at home at parties, maybe.
I'm a Wayne head.
JV. All we played was Soulja Boy. Like we were just playing Soulja Boy.
Snap and roll.
Yeah, let's keep it a stat. Like let's keep it all the way. Let's tell the whole truth.
That doesn't mean he's not corny.
Yeah.
You wrote a soundtrack of 1 year of your high school life, bro. What are you talking about?
What do you mean? That was an important one. That was important 1 year.
All right, you right.
Who said Big Soulja from the hood?
So I respect Soulja Boy playing cornball.
Yeah, I didn't put him on my list because he has done enough for him not to make the list. But
sure,
I didn't bat an eye when Mill said it at all.
Me either.
But all right, but that's all that we have for you guys today.
So understandable.
Yeah, when I come back to Buffalo, you and I be throwing on the gloves, bro. I gotta be the Dipset person. Killa Cam. And that's really it from this set. Just Cam. That's why I'm wearing my shirt today. I'm glad I'm wearing this shirt today. Cam, Jay-Z, and that's really about it. Anybody else? I will not take any Cam
Jim Jones
or any Jay-Z.
Cam is the worst rapper of Dipset.
Yeah, that's crazy.
He is the worst.
He is. He is. Jim Jones has now become a better artist, and Joel's Jim Jones makes better music than Cam to this day, right now.
Bro, I love Joel's, but I'm not even sure if he has teeth. So Joel's can eat corn.
He can't. He can't. I'm not trying to. You got that,
bro. Suck it or not, I ain't gonna do it. But no, that's all that we have.
Cam is the West Side Gun of Griselda. He the West Side Gun of Griselda,
bro.
Oh my God, yo, that is wild.
You know, Westside got to represent him.
I made you.
Westside got is not corny
That's
though.
what
Westside got is, he's not corny. He's not corny. I'm saying as far as rapping. I'm sorry, he's not corny.
Oh my God!
But he's the genius behind everything. He makes sure he propped up the other two really well. But Cam the rapper and Westside Gun the rapper.
That's why corny.
Other two.
But that's why the Cam it's nothing corny about Cam. Like
he did corny things. Yes, he did. Yeah, he did corny.
He
things.
did do some corny things.
Thank you. He did corny stuff.
I'm not saying he's necessarily corny, but he did do some corny things.
The pink movement was a bad movement. It's dead. Nobody was like people. It's over. That was bad.
It's over. He started it. What do you mean it was over?
And it's bad. It's a bad look, but it's corny.
Bro,
he's not doing that.
I think that people understand that we all have.
You were pink. The people. Go ahead, Mills.
I think that people understand that we all have our own opinions on the word corny and who we feel is corny.
No, DJ record's corny.
DJ record's corny.
Listen, we'll be back. We'll be back next week. We thank you all for tuning in. Thank Rad, Mike, Mills. You know what I'm saying? We'll be back.
Better.
You know, better than ever.
Better.
Exactly.
Pay them for. Keep your
and
friends
be on the
closer,
lookout.
enemies closer.
Be on the lookout for, all things. We think this is a sports show.
We think, hootie hoo.